Hello, Wayne Gerard, Queensland's Chief Entrepreneur. Um, I'm talking to you because we are partnering for a climate tech showcase in Queensland on August 17. But before I get started, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet. And for me, that's the Gubbi Gubbi people. I pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Now, Wayne, as Chief Entrepreneur, why did you see it as important to support a climate tech activation such as this showcase?
Hey, Charlotte, it is so great to be chatting with you. And I also want to acknowledge the traditional owners. For me, they are the first entrepreneurs, the first innovators, the first researchers. They are the curious problem solvers that, really we're walking in their footsteps. And it's in their footsteps that I think we're backing a focus on climate, right? Because ultimately it's our land, right? It's our environment, and we're stewards of Australia and specifically Queensland and the places where we all live and work and play for our kids and their kids and their kids' kids. And, as a parent, I care deeply about making sure that we, our innovation ecosystem solves the really important problems and the big opportunities that we have in our generation. And I think a lot of those relate to climate. And so I'm really excited to be focusing on and backing a climate showcase that demonstrates to a whole bunch of people that we have amazing innovators, entrepreneurs, researchers, curious problem solvers that are focused on delivering solutions to climate.
Queensland government has announced a $2 billion hydrogen task force. The Olympics, of course, in Brisbane for 2032 will be a net zero. I've heard Queensland being referred to as Greensland from the latest election. Do you think that Queensland has the potential to be this climate tech powerhouse across Australia, if not the world?
I definitely do. I think there are so many reasons why Queensland can become a natural leader in climate tech. And we've already got great traction. We've got lots of innovators focused on doing, different parts of the climate climate solution set. And you're right, with the Olympics, with the investment in the Great Barrier Reef, with, even our mining companies. Like, I have never been to a mining company where the engineers and the people on site, right, they all care deeply about the environment. And so there's a lot of work going into water and energy and rehabilitation right across the state. And I think it underpins all of our economy and all the different industries that make up our economy. So yeah, we could definitely be a powerhouse.
Do you think also just, across Queensland, and you mentioned regionally, there's different sectors that operate across here, and you've just recently been in Cairns, and I'm heading up there soon, and I think, oh my gosh, it's a 2-hour flight and I'm still in Queensland. It's crazy how big it is. Are there challenges that founders, entrepreneurs in Queensland face that they possibly don't in other states? And how are you in your office tackling these?
Yeah, it's really interesting. We think about innovation and entrepreneurship truly at a whole of state level. And so we're looking to encourage innovators, entrepreneurs, researchers right across Queensland, in every town, in every city, in every region. And we think there are really relevant problems that we can solve, and products we can build, and companies we can build, and jobs we can create right across Queensland. If you think about the innovation ecosystem in, say, Sydney or Melbourne, they're city-based innovation ecosystems. And they have the natural advantage of density and subject matter expertise and lots of capital and great connectivity and all those things, where you start to get into our regions and the essential group of stakeholders that makes up an innovation ecosystem becomes less, there's less critical mass, right? There are less tech investors in regional Queensland. There's less digital infrastructure. There's less subject matter expertise and skill base, right? So, we're doing a lot of things to encourage the development of regional ecosystems. We're doing a lot of work around connecting the key ecosystem stakeholders. We're trying to encourage investment in innovation in the regions. Our regions are actually quite wealthy. There's lots of people from traditional industry, whether that's ag or resources or property development or tourism. And how do we get them to start to go, hey, we can partner with local innovators to solve problems in our existing industry, and also invest in these local innovators because they are the new economy for Queensland. So yeah, it's definitely opportunities and challenges. And, we're trying to do a whole bunch of things. And I think, working with you guys, for example, is a great way to showcase the relevance of the work that's happening in climate, for example.
Yes, and you touched on a good point there, Wayne. We actually have a grant available for regional climate tech founders to access and to come along to the Climate Tech Showcase, because climate is one of those things, like we feel the problems deeply here in Australia, but they're solutions that don't stop at the border. We need them for the world. What are the kinds of support and mechanisms that are available to Queensland founders through your office and through government?
So under the Advanced Queensland program that's run through the Department of Innovation, there are a range of programs and activities, and we're literally launching more regularly. And so there'll be more launched in a month's time, I think. Things like Ignite Ideas. We're also trialling some proof of concepts with large customers. We've got the Business Investment Fund, which helps to fund later stage companies. We're looking at how do we revitalise the earlier stage investment funds. There's access to regional ecosystems and hubs. So there's people in the regions, there's space in the regions, there's connectivity in the regions, and those people all have great networks, and their job is to connect founders to problem owners or customers, right? And then we run all these events. And so we do a lot of collaboration with different organizations who are really creating those events and creating those opportunities to connect all the different stakeholders together. And that's why we were in Cairns a couple of weeks ago. We had 150 venture capitalists up on the Sunshine Coast 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. We're running an something digital event later in the year in October for a week. So we're partnering with a couple of different organisations to run a week-long innovation festival here in Queensland. We're literally working on the Olympics at the moment, trying to understand all of the opportunities for Queensland innovators to play a role in all the different parts of the Olympics. And we're going to see a lot more come out about that over the next 12 months. And now we're doing things like investing in sports tech, we're investing in climate tech, where, you think about just the Sunshine Coast, for example. There are how many hubs up there now? There's at least 3 that I can think of, right? We've got 2 hubs on the Gold Coast. We've got 2 hubs out at Toowoomba. We've got people in Rockhampton, Bundaberg, Mackay, Townsville, Cairns. We're taking the Innovation Advisory Council out to Emerald in the end of August. And we're going to do a whole range of meetings with the local community and really try and engage there. There's amazing ag tech conferences across Queensland every year. So there's lots of things happening that we're trying to back.
It's a pretty great place to live, actually. I'm excited I've moved to Queensland. For entrepreneurs out there that are sort of thinking about, do I come to this Climate Tech Showcase or not? I mean, we will have Australia's leading climate tech investors in the room, as well as potential customers. What's your advice for an aspiring entrepreneur or one who's in the thick of it to attend these events, with an opportunity to pitch as well as demonstrate their products and services? What's your advice?
You'd be crazy not to come. Like, just being honest, right? This is one of those events where, as entrepreneurs and founders, we need to sharpen our own saw. We need to re-motivate, re-energize, and connect with people that really remind us why we're passionate about what we do. And it's going to be so good to have the investors and a whole bunch of interesting customers there, the real problem owners, right? And those problem owners, they are genuinely curious people and they want to partner. And so there's no better place to come and bounce your idea off it, confirm or validate, your product roadmap or product direction, build some connections that could lead to either a customer or, or even a coach or a mentor, right? A board advisor, for example, and potentially even funding. So yeah, I really encourage people to get along, and not just founders either, right? Like if you're a passionate tech person and want to work in a climate tech company, a great place to come along and meet people who are trying to solve really important things. If you're a high net worth individual, if you're a person that has major money in corporate Australia and you want to, you'd love to work out how to invest in a tech company, but you just don't have relationships, so don't know where to start, come along. One of the things that people will find is that the ecosystem, our innovation ecosystem in Queensland, is really inclusive and really welcoming. We have a really simple value, and that is just give before you get. So walk in there every meeting with a, how can I help? And, my advice to anyone coming along is go there on the day and go, like, I'm going to go and see how I can help. I can help anyone that I know or anyone that I meet, or connect anyone, or share my experience, because that's what stands us apart, I think, as an ecosystem and an economy. We really are really welcoming. And so for all those people that are in climate that are not based in Queensland, now's a great time to move on up.
Thank you so much, Wayne. That is fantastic advice. And it's a great place to meet your tribe of those who want to solve the biggest challenge, biggest problem we face as a species, the climate crisis, but also it's an incredible opportunity. Investment is flowing into climate tech 5 times faster than any other sector. It's an exciting place to be. We've just recently did a survey, and there's over 6,000 jobs being created in this sector across Australia and New Zealand. So it's time to jump ship and get into climate tech. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, Charlotte, and look forward to seeing everyone at the showcase.
Wonderful. Thanks, Wayne.
See ya.